105.7 Light FM. That's Hangry Eyes. If you missed breakfast this morning, good morning. It's 8:43 now, 17 before 9. Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation. Time check in to find out what's happening with your money on Wall Street this morning. And basically all the big events for the week took place after the closing last night this morning as far as economic events. And when we get to the futures, you'll see why. On the phone, Philip Statler from Statler Financial Services in downtown Sebring to explain it all. Philip, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Dave. How you doing? Well, today yesterday though closed mixed, but mostly in the red, and it looks like we got a reversal this morning anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like I said, starting after the close yesterday afternoon, all the really meaningful events, quote and unquote, happened at the end of the day yesterday when they closed up. Dow was up by about 0.33%, up 182 points. That's cool. Standard & Poor's 500 down 7.25. That's only 0.1%. That's pretty close to flat. Nasdaq measurably down though, about 0.4%, down $110. The Russell 2000 was the one that gained, kind of like yesterday morning, up by about 0.33%. So the blue chips and the small growth stocks gained, and everything that's weighted down by tech went down again. The chip panic just continued all the way to the close of the market yesterday, didn't it?
It did seem to do that, Dave, and thankfully Micron will turn that around this morning, at least to start the day. But it is, yeah, we kind of bookended it yesterday. But it was, I think there's still some tidbits out there when it comes to that whole sector. It seems to have its ups and downs, and right now it seems to be the chip sector seems to be coming back up.
It doesn't? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that piece that I was mentioning yesterday is something I ought to give everybody at the very least a little sense of calm at the very least. Cycling through the different sectors is not necessarily an unhealthy thing. You and I were chatting before we went on the air about the new reconfigured Dow when Google joins it. I'm looking at about 75% of the capitalization of the new Dow Jones 30 being all tech stocks, and it's about the same kind of percentage capitalization as the NASDAQ is with the Magnificent Seven tech stocks. So, okay, now it's time for the smart money to diversify a little bit because we're getting overweighted on tech stocks, and quite frankly, we did it with industrial, we did it with brick and mortar retailer, we cycled through those things, but right now, it doesn't take a lot to be able to panic the investing community when the price of chips goes up, does it?
No, it doesn't. As a matter of fact, the memory crunch, I got this little ticker came across my screen this morning. Apple raising prices on MacBook and iPad due to that memory crunch.
Oh yeah,
and talking about more price increases to come. So,
yeah, they're saying the base iPhone when they issue it, none of you can't even buy a 256 megabyte iPhone with the new models come out. They're going to start at 512 if the rumor is right. Well, okay, fine. Every additional meg of memory that you buy is going to cost you probably $5 or $10 more these days. It's going to result in the price increase for virtually anybody that uses a computer, whether it fits in your pocket or your desktop, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. And then, yesterday we talked about, just on the tidbit side, Wendy's, right? They ended up yesterday up, I think 25.7% yesterday. Yeah, but they're not done. They're this morning up another 11.5% right now.
Geez, to fill in for folks who don't watch it carefully, a bunch of guys that hang out in a group on Reddit have a philosophic distaste for short sellers. So when they find a stock as being heavily short sailed, they buy the snot out of it, bring it up, and end up really screwing all the investors that had short sale positions on it. And one of these days we're going to find out how much money people lost on that Wendy's run up. Now it's probably in the cajillions.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because it happened pretty quick.
Something that surprised both of us. We start the morning out with some macro information, the government data dump, and almost all the important junk came out this morning from the government. The big number that we're following the most carefully is the PCE price index. That was always Jay Powell's favorite measurement of inflation. We don't know what the new Fed chairman is going to love more, but if he loves the PCE index, he's got to be looking at this and saying Trump wants a rate decrease, ain't going to happen. Top line PCE price index year over year, 4.6%. Now, one of my tip sheets said 4.1% was expected. Did yours agree with that expectation?
Yep, that's exactly what we expected, 4.1%. So that's a huge increase over what was expected when you look at year over year. I mean, that's an incredible amount of core. That's just a lot, a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
price increase. Yeah, I mean, that's not good.
Now, they are saying in part of the release that that number is likely to decrease simply on the grounds of the falling oil prices, which we'll mention when we get toward the futures because they're down to a magic number this morning. But still, the core number that excludes energy and food is the highest since 2023. That doesn't include the price of oil. And still, we're looking at 3.4% PCE inflation at the core, which kind of makes the point again. It's what we expected, but it still is El Stinko, isn't it?
It is. It's still a high number when it comes to inflation year over year. That's just impactful, right? Especially for those that are on a fixed income, that really and truly starts to put a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, because I got a sneaking hunch my Social Security cost of living is not going to be 4.6% or anything this year, is it?
I doubt it. It'd be nice if it was, though.
Yeah, it would be. Wouldn't help the budget deficit any, but it was not going to happen. I know that. The only good news that came out of it so far, at the very least, is the government also released the personal income numbers, and actually, for a change, for at least 1 month, I gather we beat inflation for a month, huh?
It did. It was up like either 6 or 7 tenths of a percent. It was a big number. Came across my ticker, and that was well above the 4 tenths of that was expected. So, and consumer spending was actually down a little bit. So, you take those two things, and that looks like that was a good month for the consumer.
I'll take that happily. The weekly jobless claim number, 215,000, which is pretty close to what we've been. It's still in the abnormally low position, so the picture that we're drawing is about the same as it's been for a while. People, we got a problem with inflation. Houston, we have a problem, but the job market is staying relatively steady. That's pretty much the picture we've been drawing for the last 6, 8 months, isn't it?
It is, and it's really kind of good news, right? That we've kind of been steady. We would like to see it start to drop off, though. I mean, it is time. It's time. I've said this now for a while that midterm elections are coming up, and if the president wants to keep his majority, things have got to be going good. The consumer has to be happy, and with this kind of inflation and dreading going to the grocery store, I just don't see how that happiness is going to flow through to the election.
Yeah, I would not want to be the majority party in this off-year set of elections. I mean, I've been talking to other politicians and local political geeks around town, and I think we're all pretty much in an agreement. There's kind of a throw the bums out mentality going on right now with the mood of the voters, and 4% inflation is certainly not going to help that any, is it?
It's not, Dave. It's definitely not helpful.
Absolutely not. On the other hand, good news coming out in the process. After the market closed yesterday, we were talking at the outset about the big increase in chip prices scaring the tech stockholders. It doesn't appear to, at the very least, have affected Micron badly, does it? When we talked about they needing a hit it out of the park report, I gather that's what they did, huh?
They did, Dave. They definitely hit it out of the park. I mean, Micron beat by almost $5 a share on their earnings report at $25.11 a share. But here's the big one, Dave. Revenue. Their revenue a year ago was $9.3 billion. This
Mm-hmm.
time, 41.46 billion.
Holy crapola. That's not an increase in prices. That's a whole big increase in sales, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, more than quadrupled, and the expectation was for like almost 36 billion. So even well above that projection as well. And so obviously Micron's heading up this morning. It's up almost 19%.
Wow, and I'm betting that's probably helping the whole sector by a bit, and I'm going to bet we're going to see that when we get to the futures, isn't it?
I mean, it is. I mean, I've got a list here like SanDisk is up 17%, Western Digital's up like 14%. So, yeah, it's definitely coming across all the spectrum there.
Doesn't take a lot to get a stock trader excited. Any other indications we got quickly before we have to tie the ribbons on it?
Hey, the other thing we have as we close out is Darden Restaurants. That's the home of the we used to think of it as always Red Lobster, but Red Lobster is not part of that group anymore. Now it's Olive Garden is the big name there when it comes to Darden. But they beat on earnings, however, they missed on revenue. And a lot of that miss on revenue came from their fine dining and their Olive Garden restaurants fell short of what was expected of them. And so it really has Darden trading down about 3% this morning.
Oh, geez. Well, we'll reset the table and give them some good news then. Blue chips and the broader indexes were up yesterday. The tech indexes were down 45 minutes before we opened. Looking at my numbers, I think I see kind of a reversal of yesterday. How are we doing 45 minutes early?
We are, Dave. We got to leave some upward movement again this morning. The Dow is up 0.3%. The S&P 500 is up 85 100ths. NASDAQ 100 is tearing it up this morning, Dave, up 2.3%. Again, because of a lot of the chip companies and technology companies reporting. Small cap up 0.75%. On the other side of the coin, we're seeing a little bit of a jump in silver, up almost 0.4%. Gold's up about 55 100ths. And then crude oil's down almost 1%, Dave, below 70 at $69.69 a barrel.
And like I said, that'll help the PCE inflation number next month if it keeps trending down. The Asian Rim market doesn't respond as fast to our aftermarket events. By and large, the Asian Rim was up, but not really that monstrously. The mainland Chinese indexes were up a little over 1% at the close at 6 a.m. Europe is having let's say, a reticent party at the moment. Everybody's in green ink over in Europe looking at our futures and our reports. Average European index is up by about 0.9% just halfway through their trading day. Getting my retirement together and having a plan counts for a whole lot. How do I get a hold of you to get a plan to be able to retire someday? Maybe. Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe. It all comes down to having a plan in place first. That's important. Having the plan. We don't have a plan. We don't have a track record. We don't have a track to run on. Give us a call at 863-382-0037 to schedule your appointment where we can look to see if you're on the right track to the retirement you always dreamed of. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m., 95.3 FM.
And you and me back again tomorrow about the same time here on Light. You have a good day, and let's cross our fingers we can keep going up today. Fair enough?
Fair enough, buddy. Have a great day.
Appreciate you. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Philip Statler.
Hey, folks, again, I want to thank you for joining us today. Hope your day goes well. I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Until then, have a great day. Bye now.